You know that feeling when drawing starts feeling like work? When instead of you enjoying it, you start overthinking every single line? I used to sit down, open my sketchbook and instantly start thinking, it has to be good. And this is when I realized that if I continue that way, I'll completely lose the enjoyment of drawing, which was the reason I started in the first place. And that was the reason I found a way to make drawing fun again, even with a busy schedule. And it all started with something really simple. Hello everybody, I'm Christina, and today we're going to talk about the fun part of drawing. Or maybe the part. Or maybe both. When we start drawing, it's all about the excitement. There are new pens, new brushes. Our head is full of ideas. Basically, there is a whole new world that's opening up in front of us. But at some point, we all hit that weird wall where we start judging ourselves. We start comparing our drawings with others. And suddenly, drawing becomes sort of a work. Even worse than work, because we are our own judges and we are criticizing ourselves like a lot. I've got into this mindset where every drawing that I've created needs to be useful. Either it could be posted online or it could be used for, let's say, creating a gift for friends, family, my followers. And that pressure killed all the play. It all becomes about the result, not about the process. If that sounds familiar to you, I think it's completely normal, just because we all want to improve, and with each drawing that we create, we expect that to come. We are putting so much pressure on ourselves to get that improvement today that we don't even know what it is, but it never is what we see on paper at the end result of our drawings. I've heard somewhere, I don't remember where exactly, but it was a good mindset for the times when you feel like you don't really want to draw, you really don't have that sparkle today. It's great to trick your brain to start preparing your drawing space. For example, to start gathering your pencils, sketchbooks or tablet, maybe to make a cup of tea, for example. And once you start preparing everything and actually sit on the table, this is when your brain is already in the mood of drawing, just because you give it like 10 minutes or so preparing and thinking about the drawing session. And when you prepare all those things, you're like, okay, I spent 10 minutes. Maybe it's a good idea to really draw, not just to leave everything on the table and to go to watch Netflix, for example. It's important for us to think like we are the masters of our brains and we really can train them in a way that it's gonna be useful for us in the long term. At some point I realized that I don't want to force myself to create the perfect drawing. I told myself, okay, today I'm going to draw not for the purpose of creating something pretty, but for the sake of just moving my hand. I've started small. I just took a pencil and I started doodling, for example, shapes, squiggles, some random objects around me that are pretty easy to recreate. And I didn't have any expectations and any goals. I basically let go of those and I focus on the process. It felt extremely good, actually. And the interesting part is, by doing that, I felt like the pressure slowly started to disappear. And those warm-up exercises gave me permission to play again. What helped me feel drawing fun again are a few things. The first thing is no pressure sessions. I take my sketchbook and I put a timer for 10 to 15 minutes and I started with some simple prompts. I may start with a few prompts, it depends on the time that I feel like I will need for those prompts. If it's a prompt that I believe it's gonna take me 10 to 15 minutes, I'll go with just one. Not for skill improving, not for social media, just drawing something that's for me and it's not gonna be seen by anybody. And the rule that I have for that session is do not judge it. You know, whatever I draw, it's just the way it has to be done, no judgment. And just leave it there and continue with your day and your life. What usually happens is after those 10 to 15 minutes, I feel like I want to keep going. That's the beauty of the process, because you are just going into that state of flow. While you are drawing those prompts, you may get an idea of another drawings. You may continue with the same prompts and trying different stuff. I sometimes end up drawing for an hour, even though I've decided to make it just for 10 to 15 minutes. Some are beautiful, some are cute, some are bad, some are really, really ugly. But it doesn't matter, because tomorrow we're going to try again and the end result is going to be different. And that's what matters, the process, not the end result. If you're trying to make drawing fun again, let me know in the comments what you are struggling with the most or what is being helpful for you. I would like to hear your story. The second thing is random playful prompts. For example, things like drawing your mood as weather, or draw dogs with only triangles, squares and rectangles. That might sound silly, but those exercises are taking your brain out of that perfection mode and put it in another mode, which is a problem solving. Because creativity is something that needs to be trained to serve us anytime that we need it, in an instant. If you want to try this approach, I've prepared something that might be helpful. It's a list of, I've called it no pressure drawing prompts, that can help you if you want to draw but you have no idea what to start with. It contains fun and easy prompts that can help you loosen up and, I believe, falling back in love with drawing again. If you want to check it out, the link is going to be in the description box below. Focus more on the creativity, not on the result. For example, I've started asking myself questions like, what if? What if I use only one color? What if I try to use a medium that I've never used before? What if I try to draw with my non-dominant hand, for example? What if I try to draw on a different color of paper? That's also open our mind more and gives us a room to experiment. And the goal of all those was not to create something pretty, but rather to rediscover that childlike curiosity. Warm-ups are not just about getting your hand ready, but they're also for getting your mind ready. When you start with something simple and low stakes, it actually makes your brain relaxes and it helps you be more creative. You stop thinking that needs to be good, but rather let's see what happens. And by changing that mindset of yours, actually makes you more open-minded and gives you more room for experiment and thinking out of the box. That way you can try different approaches of the same process that you've had already, and that's the first and most important step of actually finding your artistic style. Something that a lot of people are struggling with, especially the beginner creators. It's like you trick your brain to start enjoying drawing again. When you start enjoying, improvement becomes something natural and it comes to you more easily without that constant self-criticism that we usually have. You don't need new art supplies, you don't need new courses, you just need to remember why you like drawing in the first place. So give yourself permission to draw badly, to draw nonsense, to draw just for fun. If drawing's been feeling heavy or seriously lately, try taking a step back and just play a little. Because sometimes the best art happens when we stop trying so hard. If that video helped you, leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more art-related videos in the future. Thank you very much for spending the time with me, and remember, a drawing doesn't need to be perfect to be worth doing. And I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye!